Hello everyone. In this lecture you are going to understand IP version 4 Supernetting. On completion of this lecture you will be able to answer the following questions. What is Supernetting? Why Supernetting is done? You will be able to explain an example of Supernetting. You will be able to explain the advantages of Supernetting and the drawbacks of Supernetting. Now let us see what is Supernetting. Supernetting is the exactly reverse process of subnetting. Supernetting is the exactly reverse process of subnetting. Why this is so? Because we have seen in subnetting that the large size blocks are divided into smaller size blocks, and this is done to make efficient use of IP addresses. Whereas in supernetting, small size blocks are combined to form large size blocks. In supernetting, smaller size blocks are combined into large size block. Why this is done? Because the class B addresses were already exhausted and many organizations required large size IP address blocks. So there was need to combine the small size blocks into large size block. Thus supernetting forms large size networks. The supernetting forms large size network. Now let us consider an example of supernetting. Let us consider an example of supernetting. An organization requires 1000 IP addresses and class B IP addresses are exhausted. Only class C blocks are vacant for allocation. So here the requirement of the organization is of 1000 IP addresses, and it is said that the class B IP addresses are already exhausted and only class C blocks are left vacant for allocation. Now to satisfy the requirement of this organization, 4 class C blocks can be combined to satisfy the requirement of 1000 IP addresses, because every class C block will provide 256 addresses. In a class C block there are 256 addresses, out of which the first and last IP address cannot be allocated on any machine. The first and last IP address are the subnetwork address and the broadcast address respectively. So every class C block will provide 254 usable IP addresses. Even considering the 254 IP addresses, the requirement of the organization can be satisfied because 254 into 4 will be 1016 addresses. So here the requirement of the organization will be satisfied by combining 4 Class C blocks. So 256 multiplied by 4 gives 1024 addresses, and these are sufficient for satisfying the requirement of the organization. This will satisfy the requirement of 1000 IP addresses. Now let us consider the 4 Class C blocks with the subnetwork addresses as 198, sorry, we'll take 192.168.20.0/24, 192.168.21.0/24, 192.168.22.0/24, 192.168.23.0/24. Here /24 means that there are 24 bits towards the network side and remaining 8 bits out of the 32 bits are towards the host side. In Class C there are 24 bits in network ID part. In Class C there are 24 bits in the network ID part and remaining 8 bits out of the total 32 bits are there in the host ID part. So the slash notation becomes /24. Now these 4 Class C blocks can be combined with the help of supernetting to satisfy the requirement of 1000 IP addresses. Now let us consider that router R1 has got 5 interfaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and each of these interfaces are belonging to Class C networks. Interface 1 is having the network address 192.168.20.0 and the mask is /24. Mask or slash notation or prefix bits are 24. Interface 2 has the IP address 192.168.21.0 with the mask of 24. Interface 3 has the IP address 192.168.22.0 with mask /24. Interface 4 has the IP address 192.168.23.0 with the mask of 24. Interface 5 is having the IP address 192.168.24.0 with the mask of 24. Here interface 5 of router R1 is connected to a gateway router which is then connected to internet. Now these 4 Class C addresses can be combined into one large size block of 1024 addresses with the help of supernetting. So here without supernetting the routing table size is large. Routing table is having large number of entries. So routing table without supernetting is having large number of entries. Due to this the processing overhead increases. Processing overhead increases. Memory requirement at the router is large. Memory requirement at the router is large, and the routing table lookup speed is slow. Routing table lookup speed is low. Now with supernetting, the four addresses 192.168.20.0, 192.168.21.0, 192.168.22.0 and 192.168.23.0 can be summarized or aggregated into a single IP address, and thus the routing table will have the single entry. It will have the entry for interface number, and the network address of this interface will be 192.168.20.0 and the mask will be /22. Now why mask is /22 over here? Let us see. Here we have to convert the decimal address into binary format, and then we have to determine the common prefix bits. The common number of prefix bits will provide us the mask. That mask is the mask in the supernetting example. Now here 192 in binary can be written as 128 plus 64. 168 in binary can be written as 128 plus 32, that is 160, and plus 8, 168. And 20 in binary can be written as 16 plus 4, and the last octet is having value 0, so all 8 bits will be zeros in the last octet. Now similarly 192.168.21.0 can be written as 11000000, 101010000, 0001001, because here we need 21, and the last octet is 0, so all 8 bits are 0 in the last octet. Similarly, the third IP address can be written as 11000000, 101010000. Only the change is there in the third octet value. Now we have to write 22 in binary, so it will be 000100110, and the last octet is 0, so all 8 bits are zeros in the last octet. Similarly, the last IP address can be written as 11000000, 101010000. For 23 it will be 0001011. 16 plus 4 20, 20 plus 2 22, 22 plus 1 is 23, and last octet value is 0, so all 8 bits are 0 in the last octet. Now if we observe these bits in binary and try to find out the common number of bits, then we find here that these first 22 bits are common. First 22 bits are common, and the remaining 10 bits are varying. Remaining 10 bits are varying. So here, without supernetting, the class C address has 24 bits in network ID, and remaining 8 bits in host ID. 24 bits are there in network ID, remaining 8 bits in the host ID. This is without supernetting, for class C. Now what now with supernetting, 2 bits from the network ID part, that is 24 minus 2, will be 22 in the network ID part. Now 2 bits in the network ID part are pushed to the host ID part. So now here the host ID part will have 10 bits. The host ID part is having 10 bits. So this is the situation with supernetting, and therefore there are 2 raised to 10 is equal to 1024 addresses in the block. So this single network satisfies the requirement of 1000 IP addresses. And the routing table is now having a single entry. The 4 IP addresses, the previous 4 IP addresses are now aggregated into a single entry. These IP addresses are aggregated. The route is aggregated. The route is summarized. Route is summarized to a single entry. To a single entry in routing table. And as there is a single entry in routing table, the processing overhead is reduced. Processing overhead is reduced. The router processing overhead is reduced. And as there are the less number of entries in the routing table, the routing lookup speed is increased. Routing table lookup speed is increased. These are the advantages of supernetting. So supernetting minimizes the routing table size. It aggregates the routes to single route. It summarizes the route. In supernetting, the prefix notation reduces as compared to the standard prefix notation, and the processing overhead in supernetting is low. Thus, it is clear from the supernetting example why supernetting is done. Supernetting is basically done after the exhaustion of class B IP addresses. So, it is done due to exhaustion of class B IP addresses. It is done to group different class C networks so that large size blocks can be formed. In order to form large size blocks, supernetting is done to reduce the network routing table size. Now, what are the advantages of reducing the routing table size? What advantage this reduction in routing table size will give us? Advantages of reducing routing table size. Due to the smaller routing table size, the routing table lookup speed increases. Routing table lookup speed increases, and it decreases the overhead for routing protocols, as there are very fewer number of entries in the routing table and very few number of entries required to be advertised. So the overhead for routing protocol is decreased due to the reduced routing table size. Now, what are the drawbacks of supernetting? What are the drawbacks of supernetting? In supernetting, all the networks which are to be combined must belong to the same class, same class of IP address, same class of IPv4 address, and the IP addresses in the networks must be contiguous. In the example which we considered the 4 IP addresses: 192.168.20.0/24, 192.168.21.0/24, 192.168.22.0/24, and 192.168.23.0/24. In these 4 Class C blocks, all the IP addresses are contiguous. 20.0 network will cover 20.0 to 20.255 addresses. So there are 26 addresses in each block here, and these are contiguous IP addresses, and all these IP addresses are belonging to the same class, Class C. So this is the drawback of supernetting. It requires that the IP addresses must belong to the same class of IPv4 address, and the IP addresses in the networks must be contiguous. Thus, we have seen what is supernetting. We have seen the example of supernetting. We have seen the reasons why supernetting is done. We have seen the advantages of supernetting, and we have seen the drawbacks of supernetting. Thanks for watching.